Hey guys, welcome back to the Charismatic Nerd. Today, we're gonna have a quick conversation about slavery. Now, I'm not gonna be talking about slavery in the historical sense, with the Ottomans, Americans, yada yada. I'm actually talking about slavery in the sense how people are willing slaves without actually realizing it. And what's a willing slave exactly? I'm glad you asked. A willing slave is someone who seeks the approval of others. So if you're doing something just to impress someone or grab their attention or just really seek their approval, that's being a willing slave. Or if you care about the opinion of someone else more than your own, that's also being a willing slave. Or if you're willing to put yourself through discomfort or just really go out of the way for someone just because you want their favor, that is being a willing slave. I can keep coming up with examples, but you get the idea. Whenever you're trying to do something to seek the approval of someone else, you're voluntarily being a slave without even realizing it. So obviously, you don't want to be a slave, right? But how do you go about that? It's not like you can snap your fingers and stop being a willing slave, right? Well, you can. And it all depends on this one factor that you need to have in your life. And this one factor is fairly simple. All it is having standards in your life. And when it comes to standards, it has to be something that's organic to you, something that just feels right. For me, for example, whenever it comes to anyone I deal with, whether it's family, friends, I have the standards of respect. They better respect me in all my interactions. There better be no drama of any sort. And by ensuring I have that standard, that helps me guide my relationships and making sure that the direction I'm going to is one where it fits with my lifestyle and the way I want it to be. And you need your own standards so it can help guide the relationships you create and develop in your life. And these standards better apply to everyone you deal with in life, whether it's family, friends, someone you're dating, etc. Otherwise, if you don't have standards, you're gonna be what Publius Syrus said in this quote about 2,000 years ago. Let your life be pleasing to the multitude, and it cannot be so to yourself. At the end of the day, you have to realize that the quality of your life, the problems in your life, all of that depends on you. And if you don't take initiative or control or really be the own leader in your own life, then you're gonna have a lot of unnecessary problems. Hopefully by now, my pitch for standards is making you buy into them. However, having standards is not enough. You also need to have the courage to commit to them. And what does that look like? It's very simple. If someone doesn't meet your standards, you have to do what's appropriate, whether that's cutting them off, distancing yourself, etc. You need to make sure that there is consequences when people are not meeting up to your standards. Now, some people think that this move can be kind of dickish, but let me be real with you. There is going to be a day where you are going to die. And the scary part is, you don't know when that's gonna happen. So with that fact, why not start creating the life that you want? Why not start living out the standards that you want? Because if you don't, it's never going to happen. And when you start living the standards and creating the life that you want, it's not gonna be for everyone. Not everyone is gonna be a part of that. And that's okay. You want the people that wanna be a part of your life. You want the people that are gonna meet your standards. And trust me, that's where you get the high quality relationships. That's what you get the high quality of life. But if you're not willing to commit to your own standards, then why would anybody else respect you? Why would anybody live up to these imaginary things that you wish that people could be, where they're nice and respectful? Those are things that you need to demand with your standards. And life is short. You don't know when you're going to die. So why not start living out the standards that you want? Why not start living the life that you want? And all this comes down to you committing to the standards that you want in your life. Life is incredibly simple. I keep saying that, whether it's in my newsletter, in my videos. Life is simple and it all starts with you. You need the courage to commit and make sure that you're the one, you're the agent that's creating the life. You're the one making sure that people are meeting your standards. Otherwise, they're facing the consequences. Because at the end of the day, when you look back at your life and see what you did, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be proud because you knew that you cut off the people that weren't gonna meet your standards and you found the people that were going to meet them. And that's gonna be a beautiful life. But again, it all depends on you. Your life is always gonna depend on you, so don't ever forget that. And standards is a simple way of reminding you of that. Alright, so hopefully you got my idea of what being a willing slave is and how having standards can kind of eradicate that. And just because I am a humble nerd, I did not come up with this idea. I got this idea from Richard Taylor from his book, Restoring Pride. It's a great book and it's also a very hard to find book, but whether it's at the library or a university library, I highly recommend that you read it. It's a very short book, but basically the ideas that I spoke about in this video came from that book, and there's a lot more ideas in that book that you would enjoy. But yeah, that's a shout out to Richard Taylor. Rest in peace. But other than that, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe to my channel, share this video, subscribe to my newsletter, and guys, remember, you're not just any type of nerd, you're a charismatic nerd.